Hello, buddy. Welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be doing another coaching session. This is going to be a Bronze 4 Soraka game. So special thanks to Hermione for donating. I really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get in here. If you're new to the channel, then how these coaching session works is I look over the op.gg, make some commentary there. We talk a little bit about the pregame. I go ahead and watch the game. I haven't watched it yet. From the start, take some notes as I watch it, comment on that, and then at the very end go into a post game and talk about the best tips to help Hermione do better. And if you're interested in a coaching session or any of the other reward systems that I offer, I'll list them right here. You can check them out and get a coaching session for a $20 donation, a guide about the topic of your choice. I'll play a champion of your choice on stream, probably in a normal game, maybe in a flex if it's not too exotic. Or I can duo a game with you and give you some commentary on the duo. If you want that as well. So if you're interested in any of that, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com and we can set that up. Then if you want to see other playlists, or other coaching rather, then I've got the coaching playlist linked for you. And if you want to see my in-depth individual champion guides, I have that link for you as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. So this is the game we're going to be observing. 10 control wards. Excellent. Very, very good. I recommend getting at least 5 per game. It's a 60-minute game. That's a pretty long game. So 10... pretty good number. 5 for a 30-minute game is about usually what I would think, so 10 for 60 makes sense. So that part's excellent. I know that in your email you had said that you're still buying and working on some runes, that perhaps you were, this is a newer account or you're newer to the game. So this is what you should shoot for. Now keep in mind they're going to be redoing runes in November. They just made an announcement today on May 30th about that, but that is quite a ways off. So if you're going to be playing League, you need to be probably still getting some of these runes. They didn't say they're going to refund for the runes that people have, but I don't know. It's your call. You can decide, but I still think you should invest in runes in the short term, at least the ones that aren't as expensive. So I think that the ideal runes for Soraka are 9 armor runes. You can do spell pin if you really want to get ritzy early on in the game, but I think that 9 armor runes is good. You'll want 9 HP runes. That's the cap. Flat HP runes. Those are very expensive. Those 820 IP a piece. So you can substitute armor for that if you want to. Those are only 210 a piece. Blue 9 AP is really good on Soraka. Or you can go flat magic resist. Also pretty good, and that's the cheaper version. That's 210. 3 ability power quints is good, or you can go 3 armor quints as well. So this is kind of the cheaper, more defensive version if you want. This is kind of the more expensive offensive version, at least with the blues and the quints. You can also get the tier 2 runes if you want to do that. But yeah, just keep working on your rune page. Overall with masteries... Okay, here we go. I closed the tab there. Okay, overall with masteries, let's look at builds here. I recommend getting Insight, because you're going to need your Exhaust and your Flash quite a bit of Soraka. This is interesting, but I still think that you will want Insight. This is not going to make a huge difference later on in the game. It's okay, but it's primarily just a little bit for laning phase. However, this is good at all points in the game, so I would definitely go for Insight on this one. And I would go for Explorer, because you're pretty vulnerable, especially when you're trying to ward, and so getting that extra 15 move speed in the river in particular, and also in brush, is really important. Taking 2 less damage from auto attacks in lane is not going to be a huge deal, because you're probably not going to be trading a ton of auto attacks anyways as Soraka. So I really don't think that it's going to be that big of a deal. Remember, neutral monster is not lane minion. Way back in the day, there was a mastery like this that used to reduce damage of lane minions, and it was way too strong. So this is only, like, when they say monsters, they're just talking about the jungle. They're not talking about the lane minions. So really, you only want this if you're going to be getting hit by enemy auto attacks a lot. And so I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, Blitz doesn't even have a ranged attack, and Draven might hit you some, but I think that this would be much more impactful just to run Explorer. Pretty good build overall. I would recommend going for Swiftness as your boots, and the reason behind that is they're going to be after you in combat a lot of times, trying to chase you down and kill you, and so you really need that Swiftness, because Soraka doesn't have very good escapes. So you really need that Swiftness to be able to get out of there. Mobility boots are primarily for champions that want to roam and make ganks, and so their initial initiation is their most powerful part. So things like Blitzcrank, maybe Fiddlesticks, potentially Zyra. Um, but yeah, that's what I would do. And now that I think about it, I would almost, especially when it's their comp, you might want to run Spell Thieves and then upgrade that to the 4 ward item. Not the Frost Queens, but the Eye of the Watchers. The reason is that extra 50% move speed is a pretty big deal to help you get away from threats. Like a Swain chasing you, for example. And that allows you to be a bit more aggressive early on. So the coin item's okay on Soraka, but lately I've been going towards Spell Thief. Coin is still fine, but you definitely want to upgrade your coin, which we'll talk about here in a second, if you do choose to go coin. Although I do think that Spell Thieves is probably the better option this day and age. But yeah, definitely Swiftness boost over mobility. It'll still give you some good movement speed, and you'll actually have it in combat to get away from things like Swain. Another thing I would recommend is going for Mikhail's over Redemption, or after you get Redemption, going Mikhail's before Locket. The reason for that is that extra 20% shielding and healing is massive on Soraka. It's really, really strong. So Mikhail's is already a pretty decent item, but the fact that Soraka benefits so heavily from the healing and shield power is just massive. In addition, you know, they have an Amumu and they have a Lux. Both of these have cleansable effects, and they have a Swain. All of these 3 champions have cleansable effects that are really big. So, you know, if your Vayne gets caught by a Lux Bind or an Amumu ult or a Swain, whatever it is, W, his never move, then you'll be able to cleanse out of that. Now, it does require some pretty quick reflexes, so, you know, if you're newer to the game, you may not have the micromanagement to use Mikhail when you need to use it, because obviously it's not going to be that useful to you if it takes you, you know, a second and a half to respond to the Amumu, like, ulting to cleanse it. But if you think you can cleanse it pretty quickly within half a second, then I would definitely go for the Mikhail. So you can just choose, you know, whatever level of micromanagement you're comfortable with. I mean, Locket does require some, you know, micro as well. You have to be able to press it to, you know, activate the Locket to shield Lux lasers and things like that. So, anyways, I would highly recommend, if you feel comfortable with it, rushing that Mikhail's a little bit faster to get people out of those snares. And also because the 20% is really strong. So yeah, you can still go Locket, and I do think Locket is good against things like, obviously, Swain, Lux, and Amumu. I just feel like the extra ability to cleanse crowd control, because they have a lot of it, and the plus 20% healing and shielding is probably a bigger deal for Soraka. And they don't really have a great way to get on you. I mean, they have to hit you with basically a Blitz Hook or a Lux. I mean, I guess they have some ways, but it's not like they have an assassin that can just like point click jump on you, like a Zed or an Ari or something like that, basically. So I think that you won't need as much defense as Locket gives you. Potentially. I mean, that's up to you, but I do think that Mikhail's is super strong on Soraka in general, and I think that's a pretty good place. That's a pretty good team comp to get it with. So you definitely want to upgrade your gold items now because of the quest rewards. So with the coin, that extra skill point's a pretty big deal, because Soraka, like, all of her abilities are pretty good, especially the Q and the E, or the Q and the W. So being able to get that online faster is a big deal. Now, another thing also is Talisman, I think, could be really good with your team comp. That's an expensive item, and the stats aren't great on it. But being able to hand out that move speed boost could be huge, because you're going to have to kill this Draven. If you don't kill Draven, you're just going to lose the game, basically. So you really have to get Cho, Warwick, and Echo all. That'll help them dive onto the backline to get to that Draven. So I would highly recommend that you get a Talisman at some point. Maybe after Mikhail's would be a good place to finish that. But you can go ahead and get to the level 2 gold item first if you want to. But yeah, I think Talisman might be good. I don't get it all the time, but if your team lacks really good engage and you just have a bunch of champions that just want to run at people, like a Cho'Gath and a Warwick, then I think Talisman could be pretty good. Because yeah, if Draven doesn't go down, you're just going to lose. Pretty much. He does just so much damage late game. I would skip Warmogs. I do like the Warmogs interaction with Soraka once you get to level 13, and that's about when you get it, it looks like. Well, you get it really late in the game, actually. You get it around 53 minutes. So it is really good, but my reasoning is, once again, I don't think they have too much unavoidable damage. So I don't think that there are going to be assassins that are going to be knocking you out, which is one primary reason to get Warmogs if they have things like a Cassidon and Ari, Zed, just stuff that you're going to have a really hard time getting away from. Nocturne, then Warmogs can be pretty good in those situations. But or if you're rotating a lot or you're taking a lot of poke. So if they have champions like a Ziggs and you're trying to siege and Ziggs just keeps poking you with those bombs, that can be pretty good. And I would just go for more plus healing items, honestly. So I would just go, you know, Redemption, Mikhail's, Talisman, Ardent Censer, Ruby Sightstone, something like that. I would just go maximum plus healing, basically, and just try to position a little bit safer off of Warmogs. Once again, because they don't have a lot of relatively unavoidable damage. Okay, and as far as your skills go, I would definitely get at least 2 points in Q and lane. This will help you harass, it'll help you wave clear. I mean, getting the heal in lane is what I used to do, and that is helpful. But it just basically means you're just sitting there not doing anything in lane a lot of times because your Q's not going to be powerful enough. So I think getting at least 1 point in Q just for a little bit of harass, a little bit of wave clear. It's decent wave clear. Early on can be very helpful. And then maxing out your W from levels 7 to 10 is usually a good option. So I would go like maybe Q, W, E, Q, and then start maxing W. Something like that. Okay, so the rest of the pregame, I think it's going to be a really rough lane. Blitz Draven is extremely dangerous. Soraka is very vulnerable to that. Vayne doesn't do anything early game. So yeah, they're probably going to steamroll you in lane. The best you can do, I think, is try to push in if you just hit those backline minions with your Q and then at least force Draven to last hit under tower. Then just back up to make sure Blitz doesn't hook you under tower. But, you know, I think you should push him in and back up as much as you can. Then this way, at least there's going to be minions pushing into them so they can't engage on you. Like, one of the scariest things is when Blitzcrank when there's no minions left in your lane and Blitzcrank just starts running at you. There's not a lot you can do about that as Soraka in particular, so it's going to be a really rowdy lane. I'm not sure what your pick order is, or if you just love to play Soraka, like every game you just have to play her. It looks like you love to play Soraka, and that's fine. If you like to do that, especially with the 10-ban system coming up tomorrow, I would highly recommend just ban Blitz, especially in Bronze. He's really, really hard to deal with, and he's very good against Soraka. So whenever you get your ban in the 10-ban system, put it on Blitz, because he is a rough hombre for you to deal with. Okay. Okay, make sure your team understands they need to kill Draven in the mid game. Does he just like go out of control with damage? Is that how you lose the game? I'll spoiler alert here. Yeah. So even in the pregame, I was talking about that. Even before I swear I didn't even look at a bar. I didn't look at the damage graphs or anything. I was just predicting it that Draven can just go off against your team, and that's exactly what happens. He has 91,000 damage. So yeah, this is what needs to happen. Is you guys have to kill this Draven, and so I'll point out some ways where maybe you could do that a little bit better, but. Just compositionally looking at it without even looking at the damage before I even watch the game, I know Draven's going to be a huge problem. Because there's no one on your team can really deal with him that well. So I think that getting that Talisman is a good start. But yeah, you need to tell your team, get on the Draven. Get a Talisman. Try to boost the Warwick in there. And the Echo and Cho'Gath. Just tell them to dogpile him. And if they crowd control you with like an Amumu ult or something, just use your Mikhails to cleanse off the Warwick. And just get on him. Draven is probably ban-worthy next patch, especially after they nerf Kate and Lucian. He's probably ban-worthy. But Blitz, you gotta ban Blitz on the next patch because he's very popular in Bronze and he is really good against Soraka. Okay, so they're probably going to beat you up late game. You need to try to finish it out early, and let's see if I can give you some tips for how you might be able to do that next time. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. How are we looking on time? We're doing okay. A little bit of a long preamble, but we'll go ahead and get started here. Okay, so that's enemy team. Okay, watch out for Blitz Invade. So you want to run down here, ward this bush, and then go stand like here.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Okay, well, everybody's AFK at the start, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. Alright.
Minions have spawned.
Blitz. Yeah, he shouldn't be able to do that. You need to stand up here At least let them know that, like, people are there. That's a sweet skin. I like Project Soraka. Okay. Okay, I like that. Good save forward. They're pushing you in. So you should tell your team, I don't know if you typed it or not, but because they were in this lane so fast, you need to tell your team that Amumu started blue. Amumu usually does start blue, but just communicate that to your team. That's going to be a lot of stuff that I talk about all game probably, is just communication. That's a little bit more advanced, but if you see their lane here, that means they're not helping him do the red, which means he's starting blue. So in bronze, that may not matter, but it's a good habit to get into just to communicate to your team where the jungler is. Warwick's probably not going to use that information, but you never know. He might. At least you'll know, though, that he could be down here around 3 minutes to gank you. That's usually... Amumu does clear a little bit slower, but, you know, 3 or 4 minutes, you need to be watching out for a gank bottom if you're pushed up. So, you can kind of predict when the jungler's going to be down there. Fast clear junglers will be down there in like 3 minutes. Slower clear junglers will be down, you know, 3:30, 4 minutes. Keep running. Hit him with a Q. You probably didn't need to flash that. But better safe than sorry. Okay, try to use your Qs more. When these minions are up here, Blitz can't hit you through these minions. So, like, step up to this minion and just throw some Qs at him. This Draven's Keystone. Can't tell if he has... Most Dravens won't run Warlords. And you know where Draven's going to be, too, because you can see where his axe is going to land, and you can punish him for that. Not really that hard to Soraka, but you can throw a Q on it, and he's either going to take damage or miss. Okay. Early roam. Yeah, run down here, run down here. Run down, heal him. Okay, good. Throw some Qs on him, throw some Qs on him. Throw a Q on him, throw a Q on him. Yeah, don't be afraid of Soraka. Sort of, you know, be reasonably afraid of Blitz, but... Okay, run down, heal. Keep running, keep running. You can get up there closer to the front lines. Throw... You already used your exhaust. Okay, good. Y'all got him. Good. Yeah, I would say just run up to the middle. Run up in the action a little bit more. Throw some auto attacks in there. If they're not hitting you, if they're not actively chasing you, just keep throwing autos. It doesn't seem like Soraka does a lot of damage, but it adds up. I mean, you know, 40 or 50 damage per auto after armor is a lot. And if you land 3 auto attacks in a fight early on, that's 120 damage if you're doing 40 a hit. Which is probably about what you're doing with their armor. That's a lot. You know, that's... You know, 3 of your autos is going to be equal to probably like 2 Vayne autos. So, you know, you do a lot more damage than you think you do early on with auto attacks as a support. So, throw those bananas. Throw the Qs. Every time Q is off cooldown, just throw it. Like, it's so cheap with Soraka. And it's on such a low cooldown, you know, it's on a 4-second cooldown. You can just spam it. Okay. You do want to be cautious of Blitz, but you don't want to play so far back that you're just kind of a non-factor in the lane. Y'all don't want to back here. No. Yeah, stay. Someone needs to stay and get this experience. Okay. So what you want to do is just wait until this takes, like, the ranged minions take 1 hit, and then you hit it with your Q and an auto. Yeah, so you're kind of stuck. You have to stay. Because Vayne got too greedy on her back. You guys should have just pushed in 1 wave and then left, but she stayed to try to get 2 waves. That's too much. Each wave is 30 seconds for it to get there, and so when you do wait on that 2nd wave and try to clear it, you're giving them about 30 seconds to get back to lane. And with such low death timers, they're going to be back by the time you clear out that 2nd wave. Yeah, you need to... Did you ping that? Okay, someone ping that Blitz is coming, so if he dies, it's his fault. But I would ping it even more. Just, like, ping it a lot and just, like, type Blitz in chat. Give him the question marks down here. Okay, so I'm just going to say, more aggro early. Auto and Q. Especially early in the lane, like, don't be afraid to walk up and, like, auto-attack Blitz. Or not Blitz, auto-attack Draven. So you have Vamp Scepter. Okay, he does have Vamp Scepter. So the game changes once he gets Vamp Scepter because he can heal through your harass, mostly. But you do have a small window before his first back, you know, levels 1 to 5 or so, where you can walk up and every time he's trying to last hit, just auto-attack him. Throw a couple of Qs at him. As long as you're behind minions and Blitz can't hit you, just harass that Draven and make him back early. If he auto-attacks you back, it's not a huge deal because you're going to heal it back with your Q. At the bare minimum, just try to run up and throw Qs at him. Because right now, you basically sit on a full mana bar all lane. And you want to try to use that. Leverage that as much as you can. I would rotate around here and go help Warwick with this. Just run over here right now. Just like Blast Plant over this and help him. I think he's going to get it, but if a Mumu showed up or something, that would be really bad. I mean, I guess they would have seen you on this ward, but I don't know. It's iffy. I probably would have gone over to try to help him. Once it gets down to like a third health or something, and he's getting pretty low. Like I said, if a Mumu just rolled up on him right there, it probably would have been lights out. Okay. How's your farm looking down here? 53 to 35, so she's getting smoked in CS. About like I expected. Yeah, you need a flash, you need a flash. You need a flash. Okay, good. You did need a flash that one for sure. So yeah, so now you have to play back. You know, and what you're doing now is appropriate, but you know, like I said earlier in the lane, I think you can be more aggressive than you might suspect with Soraka. You get some pretty good results. Draven is a problem too because he gets free last hitting basically because he gets like an extra 30 AD, so it's almost impossible to miss last hits as Draven. Like you really have to be doing something wrong to miss last hits as Draven. So he's just naturally gonna outfarm your Vayne at this elo in particular. People just can't last hit, and so Draven makes it a lot easier to do that. To be fair, I can't last hit very well, okay? So I'm not saying I'm a god of last hitting. But even the people who specialize in AD carry are still kind of learning how to last hit, so. And Draven makes that a lot easier. So I don't know, you said you're playing with the Vayne. I don't know if this is your friend or if it's just someone random, but if you do have a friend that you like to do it with that plays AD carry, highly recommend them trying to learn how to play Draven. He's going to be really overpowered. He already is, and next patch is going to be worse. Okay, do you have Exhaust? Okay, you need to Exhaust. Exhaust Blitz right now. Exhaust him. Exhaust him. Exhaust him! Ah! All planned. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that was all planned to bait him. But if for some reason that wasn't planned, as soon as they pull you in, you should Exhaust Draven. I know I'm guilty of that too. I hold my Exhaust too long also sometimes. So I understand, but definitely I would use it a little bit earlier than that. Although it did work out fine for you. Okay. I mean, your team's doing great so far. But you got to keep the pressure on. You're on the clock. Like I said, if they get ahead, it's a problem. Oof. That's a tilter. Okay, you didn't have ult. One thing with Soraka to work on also, which I'm sure you probably do, is, you know, you got to learn how to watch the life bars of your allies, which will probably be over here. The real client. And use those clutch ults. If someone's kind of low. It's a tough judgment call. You know, sometimes you waste an ult if someone's going to die anyways, but you can really influence outcomes of some fights. With an apropos ult. Okay, how are we looking at items? Oh god, what is she building? What is this monstrosity? You got a Bilgewater BF sword? Awful. So she's going BF into Bork. She's 3-0. Like, the sad thing here is she's 3-0 and she's barely ahead of Draven. Like, literally, her items, she's up like 400 golden items. Maybe not quite that bad, but like a Bilgewater is like marginally better than a Vamp Scepter, like Its itemization is really rough. Not that you can do much about that, but yeah, I would, like I said, I would definitely go mobility boost here. Especially because if you get hooked by Blitz, for example, you can actually run out of there a lot faster. She's probably going to die here trying to get cute. Yeah. Run. You ping her back. Oh, gosh. I mean, she's up 3 kills, and she just gets, like, massacred by Draven. Okay, Warwick's over here getting this. This is good. Yeah, come down here and try to hold this. Just don't get hooked. You've got ward coverage here. You know they're not going to flank. You can come down. It's fine. Alright, you need to go down. You need to get this experience. I know you're probably really scared of this, but you need to be getting this experience right now. Yeah, you lost a lot of experience there. I would come down. I mean, I know you're really scared of Blitz, but I still think you should be down there. At least, like, max range, you know. Grabbing that experience, even if you aren't going for the last hits. You can at least throw some Qs at him or something. What are we looking at here? Still up 25 CS. And if your friend doesn't want to play Draven, I would play Twitch. Twitch has a rough laning phase, but he's so good, especially in Bronze, because people just won't respect that invisibility. You need to run. I'm not sure if you're like lagging or AFK or something, but that's obviously something you want to work on. If it Vayne's up that far, you need to be up that far. I don't think that's too unreasonably far up. Okay, yeah. Run up. Throw Qs. Okay, so I'm gonna say use Q more in team fight. It doesn't seem like it does a lot of damage, and it's not going to do a lot of damage because you only have 1 point in it. But don't forget, it does apply a slow. I think it's like a 30-second slow for 2 seconds or something like that. It provides some kind of slow, and it speeds you up. So if people try to chase you, it helps you run away, and it slows them down. So, and of course, it heals you. What was that? I didn't see anyone on your team fighting. Maybe that was an accident. I mean, let me see. Oh, did you do that for Echo because you thought he was gonna die? Look again. I wouldn't use it there. It's a very important cooldown. I mean, I know you're maybe scared he's gonna die to red, but that's a pretty long cooldown, especially before you get any CDR. Speaking of which, what do you have? Yeah, I would definitely have this coin upgraded at some point. Alright, there you go. At least upgrade it to the tier 2 if you don't want to go full Eye of the Oasis. Speed it up a little bit here. Yeah, that's a bad time for Vayne to back. Well, fortunately, they're not pushing that hard. You need to try to queue these waves also, just to try to push it up so they don't take this tower. So that's one thing I've noticed too, is you need to be throwing more queues at the waves to try to counter push so they don't get it into your tower. Alright, how are we looking on items here? Oh gosh. Well, okay, well he has 2 picks, so he's building some goofy stuff too. Maybe he forgot he had one? I don't know. Okay, fair enough. Both teams are building some weird stuff. I don't know why he ulted there, but okay. works on this dragon. Try to push up. Yeah, like queue this back line. There you go. You should. That's what you should be doing like the entire time. Just queuing this back line, just to prep them so that Vayne can push in more. Because Blitz is gonna have clean shots at you no matter how you do it. If you push him in a tower and there's a bunch of minions there, it's a little bit less likely he's gonna run out on you. Whereas if they push and they have minions, then he's gonna run up on you more. Okay, you gotta watch out. He's gonna. Oh, don't hit him. If you hit him with that E, you lose your mobility. So you go down to just tier 1 boots, basically. And then he can just run through it and get an easy hook on you, so. Don't hit him with anything if it's open field, just run. What? Why are you following him? Just healing him up or something. Okay. Alright, come on down. Get up there, throw a Q on this. Alright. Yeah, you see a Mumu there. You're gonna have to leave this tower. If they push in. Oh, excuse me. So this is a consequence, at least partially, because you're not queuing the waves. That's how they get to this tower and get this so low. Like, if you've been queuing the backline all game, this tower would probably have at least half, if not 3/4 of its health left. Because the minions just aren't going to get to the tower as much. Because Vayne's going to be able to kill them before they get that close. Those minions do, you know, pretty good chip damage to towers. Oh, get the coins. Okay, good. Got an assist on that. Yeah, you're gonna have to back up. Don't worry about trying to Q Draven at this point. Has too much lifesteal, it's not gonna matter. Queuing the waves, however, does matter. Because then they won't go in and hit the tower. Oh, man. That's brutal. Alright, so... The cat's not behind me anymore. My hair didn't look crazy. I was just out there doing some yard work and stuff. Alright. That might be a little preemptive to exhaust the Blitz. You really want to save that. You have to have that exhaust for Draven once he gets a couple of items, because he's just going to mow everybody down. I assume Draven just accidentally bought this pick. There's no way he did that on purpose. Because he could have combined it for that cost, I think, to get his Death Stance. Which I assume is what he's going for. I mean, maybe he didn't have enough for Death Stance to complete it, and he was just like, whatever, I just want another item. Possible. Yeah, you need to just run. You might have to flash this. Oh, never mind, they can just miss you with everything. See, if you had Swiftness, you would actually get away from that. But because it's mobility boots, you're just too slow to get away. So that was a big difference, because Swiftness not only makes you faster, but it gives you 25% slow resistance. So stuff doesn't slow you down for as much. Which is separate from tenacity, which is the length of time that the slow is applied. It just reduces the power of the slow. But still, it would have saved you right there. The movement speed plus the slow reduction. Oh, Draven cashed in on that, I think. Okay, so she finally did complete her BF sword. Bork. Now she does have 4 kills. When Draven goes back, I suspect he's gonna have some good stuff. Interesting. Are you AFK or maybe just spawned? How long did you sit in base? Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I should be able to do that.
Shut down.
I just want to see how long you're up here. It felt like a while. Okay, so you're not spawned yet. But you've been dead for a while, right? Like, you've been dead for 20 or 30 seconds. When was this? 21:33?
Shut down.
Yeah, it was like 30 seconds. 35. 40. Okay, now you're buying some stuff. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, like I said, maybe it's lag, maybe, you know, nature called, or maybe, you know, your friend called, or something. But obviously, you know, if you're going in for a rank, just as much as possible, try to, if you can, you know, be able to focus up 100% and make sure the lag's okay, and make sure, you know, people aren't going to come in and interrupt you. All that kind of stuff. I know life happens in the middle of games, but that's obviously something that will that'll improve your chance to win.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And you're playing pretty far back earlier too, quite a lot. So I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't know if it was lag or like you've got something else going on that requires your attention. But you know, if you're kind of lagging, or you know, you might have to take an important call, or you know, something else is just kind of going on in the periphery, like your roommate's home and just raising hell, like drunk at 3 in the morning or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. If there's just something that's going on in life where you feel like you just might not be able to give it 100%, then consider trying a normal or at least a flex or something like that. And then that way you get the practice in, but it's not going to really be that big of a deal if you lose. Although maybe it's not a big deal anyways in ranked, but that is something that'll definitely get you in ranked, is if you don't have your full attention. I mean, sometimes I'm answering chat too much when I'm on stream, and that, you know, costs me games. Yeah, I mean, it gets the better of all of us sometimes, being distracted by other things, but obviously try to minimize that as much as you can. Yeah, on the back. Okay, yeah. Keep throwing Qs. Heal him, heal him. Qs. Q. Don't get that close. Q. Okay, Qs. Did you silence? Okay, you did silence it, right? I'm trying to write things down, and the fight just keeps going. Alright, where are you going? No. Come up here. Stay with them. Stay with them. Forget Vayne. It's bad. They're gonna run all these guys out and kill him, probably. No, he's gone. See, if you would have been there, you probably could have turned a lot of this around. If Echo was full health, you probably could have turned this. Yeah. I mean, I think Vayne might be your duo, or like your buddy or something, but you gotta just stay with the team on that one. Okay. So I'm gonna say stay with team for team fight. I know Soraka's down there, like I said, and she's your buddy or whatever. But if she wants to split push like that, I don't recommend that. Split pushing as an AD carry. But if she's doing that, you need to stay with the team. interesting, interesting. No. What? Okay. This is something special going on here. Y'all need to run. Like, Draven's about to come in and triple kill this. No, Vayne, don't, Vayne, please. He's Draven, you're Vayne. Okay. That smite kill. Okay. So this, I'm guilty of this too sometimes. If you're gonna clear a ward, like, you need to have full vision, especially against something as dangerous as Blitzcrank. You need to have full vision of an area before you try to clear it. So before you try to clear this ward, you need to ward over this wall. And probably, maybe even over here. Like, you need to at least have this warded right here. That way you can see if they're going to come up and try to stop you. If you see them sitting right here, then you can't clear that. I know it sucks if you use your sweeper and you find a ward and you can't clear it. That sucks, but you got to give it up if it's too dangerous. So you need to ward over this wall, and then you can sweep. Now, where are all these control wards? Okay, you've got 3 in your inventory. Use some control wards like here or here to try to gain... you want to, in the mid-game, you want to try to get a monopoly on vision in the river area. These are like the 2 most important bushes to control, is this one and this one. Early on. Okay, yeah, run over here. See, once again, you're over there with the Vayne. The thing is, like, you don't need, the Vayne doesn't need your health to CS, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless there are actively, like, 2 people in that lane. Okay, good, keep going. Come over here, get in here, get in here, get. Okay, back it up. But if she goes over there, she doesn't need your help. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people need your help in these team fights. They really need your help. Okay, throw a silence in there if you can. Oh, he's getting big. Oh yeah, he's huge. This is getting doomsday here. Okay. The thing is, you know, if you go down to help the Vayne into those side lanes, not only do they not have you in the middle, but they know you're not going to be in the middle, right? So they can see that when you're down in the bottom lane and they're thinking, oh my gosh, there's 2 people bot, so if we fight right now, we have a 3v5. Whereas, you know, if they don't know where you are, you gotta tell your boy or girl, you have to tell everyone, code red right now, do not fight Draven. Like, unless you have 3 people, do not fight him, because he's just gonna kill everybody. Like, there's very low margin for error for Draven at this point in the game. He just auto attacks and he wins. You know, I guess he's got to catch a couple of axes or something, but he's way too strong. He doesn't have to hit skill shots. I mean, it's nice if he hits his stand aside and stuff like that. He's so strong. He's going nuclear. Like, cannot have people try to 1v1 him. But anyways, that's a big thing to keep in mind too. When you're moving around a side lane or you're clearing a ward and things like that, they see you. Like, they know where you are and they can make decisions. Now, in Bronze 4, will they do that a lot? Will they think, we should engage because there's 2 people bot? Maybe not, but they might. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. Like, you know, anyone that looks at their minimap and can count can see that's a pretty good time to engage. So I'm sure out of the 5 people on their team, someone can probably shot call that. So run in here. This might be a good time to ult. Never mind, everybody's probably dead. When Echo was alive, you possibly could have ulted this. No. Draven. She threw like 3 bolts on the blitz, I think. Let me see where you are in all this. Okay, so you backed. Look like you're kind of can't tell where you want to go. Okay, running down. Now you need to be watching this, or at least right here. I feel like you could have ulted somewhere in there. Okay, keep running. Run through here, run through here, run through here, right here. No, not middle, over here. So she like hits blitz 2 or 3 times. That's probably game, honestly, right there. That's pretty close. I would have ulted something in there. I mean, I know it was a pretty bad fight, and I would be telling your team right now, like, Vayne, we need you at these fights. Just say, look, you know, because every time, like, it seems like most of these fights, they've caught you 3v5, because either you're back or you're with Vayne, and your team, I think Blitz is pulling them to engage, but either way, like, especially in Bronze, people are going to get caught. This is why I don't recommend split pushing in Bronze. People are going to get caught. They're not going to know lane pressure and stuff like that a lot of the time. So you just have to go with the simplest thing, I think, which is just team. People understand that on a fundamental level. You get together and you kill people. Like, that's something that people understand. So, you know, they may not understand map pressure or stuff like that when they're newer to the game, but they understand kill things. So I would try to, once again, I wouldn't be over here. Like, maybe you can make a pit stop here to get some experience, but you need to get over there like ASAP, because like people are saying, they're going to do Baron. They're pinging it. So you need to get over there and try to ward that. Yeah, so Baron's the prize. Dragon's not up for another minute or so. What kind of dragon? It's a water dragon. It doesn't matter that much, but it's nice if you can get it. But they're actually ahead right now. Like, not only literally with just the gold, but like just compositionally, because that Draven is just okay. Run. You need to run right through here. Oh. Yeah, no, where'd you go? Hold on, let me. No, not down here, not down here. You see people fighting, don't worry about this down here. Just go to the action. Just think magnet action, I'm going there. Okay, go ahead and ult. Because once you see like a life bar or two start to get low, just ult. Just make sure it's on cooldown. Okay, you should run this way. This is safer. Okay. Run this way's fine too. You have redemption, right? Throw redemption in there. Okay, you did ult. It's good. Yeah, ult, and then watch your range on redemption. Redemption's like 550 range. So as soon as people start, I assume you probably clicked the wrong person, but in there, yeah, exhaust somebody, so probably the Swain. I know a lot of this stuff is easier said than done. This is one thing that kind of irks me sometimes on stream. People are like, oh, you forgot to do something or other in a team fight. And I know it's a lot harder to do when you're actually in the situation. Yeah, I think casting your ult a little bit faster and then throwing a redemption just right here on this tri-bush. I'm not sure if you use redemption that fight or not. Can't tell. But you should definitely use redemption every fight. Just run, just run, just run, just run. No, just run. Oof. Oh, that shouldn't have hit you. Come on. That was troll. But yeah, this is a problem with mobility boots. As I explained earlier, if you hit them with your Q, although it slows them down and speeds you up a little bit, you're actually losing speed because you have mobility boots. Because mobility boots, you don't want to be in combat. If you hit them with a Q, you're in combat, so it takes you down to boots 1. So you're losing like 70 move speed. But with swiftness, you would still get the bonus movement speed. So this is another reason why you want swiftness. You can throw Qs and things like that. Mobility, once again, is just for engagements primarily. Just so you can roam around and really engage with people. Okay. How are we looking item-wise here? What are we doing? Okay, redemption, lock it. You know, it looks like you might still be learning some of the micro and stuff, a little bit of the game. So, you know, after Watching the replay so far, you may not want to do Mikhail's early on, just while you're kind of working on, you know, when to ult, like positioning in fights and like where to be and when to be and stuff like that. Mikhail's might be a little much because, like I said, you have to do it so quickly to have an effect, and you have to understand like what the animations look like when someone is crowd controlled and respond quickly. So Mikhail's might not be the best. I would get something that's maybe a little bit less micro intensive. I would just get an Ardent Sensor, probably. Because that's no micro, you just heal people and it just happens. So I would maybe do Ardent Sensor before you do Lock It. You're going to have to practice and do the Redemption, but I'm afraid that if you have like Redemption, Lock It, and Mikhail's all up, it's just going to like it's gonna be too much to handle. I mean, it's too much for me to handle a lot of times in some team fights. I don't use all those items optimally a lot of the time, and I was Diamond last season, so it's if you get too many activatables, it can be rough. So I think for you, I might recommend Redemption and then Ardent Sensor. And then you can really focus on using the Redemption right. Okay, you need to run up here, get in there, heal. Okay, so I'm gonna say be brave, get closer to heal more in fights. Use Q more. Use Redemption more. I didn't see a Redemption that fight either. Now, it's possible that I just missed it. And your ult may have been down. I don't remember. But this is something that you should definitely use. Like, every major team fight, you should use your ult, you should use your Redemption, and you should use your Exhaust if they're off cooldown. Because, you know, every fight could be the last fight, or close to it. Because, you know, it's 36 minutes into the game. And your exhaust target, if you can get to Draven, it needs to be Draven. Like 100% needs to be Draven. But you don't want to get too far out of position to exhaust it. Ping people back. Ping people out of this. No. You have your ult? Okay, use your ult. That's good. Try to throw a Redemption here if you can. No, it's just... it's just bad. I mean, I was a 3v5. Well, you might be able to clean this up. Okay, okay. Yeah, run in here. Vayne can probably get this. Melee Vayne. Okay. Good cleanup. Good cleanup. Good exhaust in there. That was looking a little rough. But you pulled it out, so that's good. Vayne's doing well. I mean, she's 10-4. And just the only problem is it's Draven is just so much more damage than Vayne later on in the game. That's your problem right now. So you're kind of up against it. You've got to get in there, and you need to heal Cho'Gath and
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Warwick. You need to try to, like, politely as much as you can. Like, I know that telling people what to build is not a good thing to do. But, you know, you could suggest, like, Warwick has to have a Randuin's. Like, 110% has to have a Randuin's, and he has to have Ninja Tabi. Like, not negotiable. He has to have those items against Draven right now, or it's gonna be, I mean, he's just gonna get, like, 3-shotted. He has no armor. Like, his only armor is a cloth vest right now, or cloth armor. That's it. That's literally it. Against the Draven that's got 11 kills and 300 CS. So he's going to get absolutely just... What? Echo's got a Warmog? Okay. So yeah, I mean, you gotta... It's a delicate balance to tell people, like, what to build. But you could say something like... You know, that Draven is massive. We really need to all, like, get Ninja Tabi and Randuin's. Something like that. Randuin's reduces crit at... Is it by... I think it's about 20% now. It's a lot. And trust me, Ninja Tabi is overpowered against Raven. Oh god, you need to run, you need to run. You need to ult, redemption, everything, right now, redemption. Okay, there you go. Wait, was that yours or theirs? I think that was yours. Yes, okay, I see it's on cooldown. Yeah. Okay. Try to do that a little bit faster. As soon as the Mumu goes in, just like immediately ult plus redemption and just run. Out of there. Because you know Lux Laser's coming in soon after. And lock it. Did you use lock it? You didn't use lock it. I know that's a lot of buttons to press, but as soon as the Mumu hits that and you know he's going to hit 3 people, you need to just... I would actually lock it first. And then start the cast of redemption. And then... After Lux throws her laser. Alright, your team's going. Wow. You got, you know, I'll tell you what, y'all have a lot of chances here. That's one cool thing about Bronze. If you're in Bronze, I know a lot of people are, you know, like, oh my gosh, I can't win in Bronze. But one cool thing about it is that for your team, you know, against enemies, is that people will let you in the game. Like, they should have crushed you. Like, that Draven is so huge, and your team has, like, no defenses for him. I mean, all Cho has is a Frozen Heart. Like, this Draven should just be, like, carving everybody up. But yet, here you are. You're still in it. It's, you know... So that's the cool thing about Bronze, is even if you make a lot of mistakes early, if you just have good shot calling and you make good decisions and you kind of position well in team fights later, you can always come back to win. Like, always. There's no lead that is too large for someone to throw in Bronze, so you just got to kind of keep your head up and do the best. You have to get Vayne over here. Like, you have to call your boy in here, or your girl. Decent exhaust, you know, it's a good target, but yeah, look at that. It's like 4 hits gone. You gotta need to run. I would honestly, I wouldn't exhaust anyone but Draven right now. If you can't get to him, just hold your exhaust. No one else matters. Gosh. Nobody has armor. Kales. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend the Kales right now for your... You know, like I said, I think you're still kind of working on your positioning a little bit, working on your timing, your exhaust stuff. It's just too many things to micro. Too many activatables. Nice. Got that redemption snipe, I saw that. Okay. How do they not end this game right now? What? Okay. I mean, he would just have to 1v1 Warwick, which he should be able to do. I mean, he has a QSS, like... He just doesn't use it? No, it's on cooldown. Yeah, well, he's got to leave now. I think that they could have stayed and ended the game. Maybe. I don't know. Either way. Speed this up a little bit. So yeah, I think going Sensor would be a good option. What else? Mikhail's is okay, but once again, this is too hard, I think. It's too hard to manage all of that with your positioning and with your exhaust and with your ultimate and everything. Having 3 activatables is probably a tall order. Yes, those are good items, but you just have to be realistic with yourself. It's like, am I going to use these like well in a team fight? And if the answer is maybe not, then you know, look for other options. I think that I'm trying to think of something else that might be good. Something like even a Morellonomicon might be okay, or not Morellonomicon. Athene's Unholy Grail. If you just spam your Q a lot in fights, it just naturally gives you some more healing. I don't know. I mean, Mikhail's the plus 20% healing is just so good on Soraka, even if you don't use the active that well. Or at an optimal level. If you just, like, cleanse anything just to give people the movement speed even, might even be worth it. So, I don't know. It's something to think about, and it's not a bad thing. It's just being realistic about your limits. If you're still kind of learning and working on some of this other stuff, you just do yourself a favor and don't do too many actives early on. Like I said, I screw it up sometimes with the actives when I get too many, and I was diamond last season, so...
Godlike.
So yeah, I wouldn't go any more than 2 actives, honestly, while you're working on some of this other stuff. I think Redemption Locket is probably good for actives, and then Ardent Sensor, and then you could go for the Warmogs if you want. Or like I said, you could even go for like a Athene's Unholy Grail. Or, you already have an Abyssal on your team. I mean, heck, even something like Banshee's Veil or a Death Cat might be worthwhile. Banshee's Veil wouldn't be awful, because then they couldn't Blitz Hook you. Like, Soraka has okay AP ratios. If you need more damage, like Leandri's Torment can be some pretty decent damage, because you already have a slow that's AoE with your Q. Now, they don't have a lot of tanks, so that wouldn't be a big deal. I'm just trying to think of items for future Soraka games you could get to substitute for Mikhail's. I just think that item's going to be too... like I said, 3 items is just going to be too hardcore. Okay, so I'm going to say limit 2 activatables items. So no more than 2 activatable items in the inventory. So, you know, as you play the game more and you move up more, you can reconsider that. But for now, I think that would help you really focus up on other things. Okay, good ult. Where's Redemption? Your Redemption should be off cooldown. Lock it right here. Lock it, lock it, lock it, lock it. Lock it, drop a Redemption. Get in there, get in there. Heal, 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 heal. Yeah, you gotta run back in there a little bit more. You are playing, you're positioning well, like you're running out so that people can't really catch and kill you, which is a good instinct to have as Soraka, because people will chase you a lot. But you gotta put your head down and get in there too, and do a bit more healing. And I guess, you know, if Warmog helps you, give you the confidence to get in there and, get into the action some more and just feel a little bit tankier, then that, you know, then that's fine. Yeah, whatever it takes to get in there a bit more. Now, Soraka's very close range. Yeah, heal him. Keep healing. Heal. You have Locket. Redemption. Yeah, use these. Try to Mikhail's something. Mikhail's him out of that stun. Oh, you're way too far. Yeah. See, these activatables are already a little rough. Like, I didn't see you use Redemption, Locket, or Mikhail's. And this fight's been going on for, you know, like 30 seconds or so. It like started up here and it's just been slowly like fighting the entire time. So, you know, especially as a newer player, I think it can be very, very overwhelming to try to manage all of those activable items. So, and wow, this fight's been going on for longer than a minute and a half actually, because I did see you use your ultimate earlier and it's already back up. Yeah, non-stop fiesta action. Okay, so try to toss. Okay, what'd you buy? You bought. Okay. Nothing really yet. Wow, are they for real like not end it here? doing her thing. Oh god. Y'all seriously turn him back? Okay, run in there. Use your ult. Use your ult. Okay, use your ult. Use redemption. Good heal. You gotta just. That's one thing is you just gotta put your head down. Okay, good. There's redemption. You just gotta put your head down and just get in there and just heal, 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 heal. And just a lot of times where you're hanging out a little too far in the back, like you should be scared. You know, I suggest if you like to play further back, maybe try Janna out, or if you like to play a healer that's further back, maybe Nami. The thing about Soraka is she has to be closer than a lot of other healers to be effective because her heal range is only like 400 or 450. It's really low. Whereas like a Janna's shield is like 800. Or like a Nami W, I think is 800 as well. Maybe even 900. No, it's not that far. But it can be a lot further back. That's what I'm trying to say. So I think that those champions, if you like to play safer and way far in the back, then I think Nami or Janna might potentially be better. Because Soraka has to get really close, and she has to use her Q really close. Whereas someone like a Nami could just cast her wave on people from really far back and just cast her E on people. And she can still be very effective from a very long range away. The same thing with Janna. She can shield people and be pretty far back. Soraka is great. I do like Soraka, but if you're going to play her effectively, you're going to have to step up just a little bit more and be a little bit, put yourself at a little bit more risk to get some of these heals off. Now, a lot of these people are diving too far, and so to be fair, that's challenging to do because you don't want to be so far ahead that you're going to be too far out of position and get, like, you know, crushed by Draven or anything like that. But Mikhail's in, Mikhail's in. So if you're going to use Mikhail's, if you do want to practice using Mikhail's, and you want to have the 3 activatables, what you need to be thinking is, you need to be watching and just be thinking to yourself, what do I need to cleanse? You know, what that the enemy has do I need to do to cleanse something? So you need to be actively watching it. So you can't, you don't want to try to just respond, just see something happen and then just cleanse it. You need to be thinking, okay, I'm going to watch for Lux. If she hits a Q, I'm going to immediately cleanse it. Like, that's what you need to be thinking in your mind. Okay, I'm watching for this. If this happens, I'm going to do this. Like, be planning ahead and just already have the, like, the plan in your mind. Like, okay, Amumu does his ult. I'm going to cleanse the Vayne. Something like that. Lux hits somebody with the Q. I'm going to cleanse. Okay, drop redemption here. Ult. Okay, good ult. Drop redemption. Run back over here. Cleanse her out of that. Cleanse her out of that. Yeah, you didn't use the Mikhail's. It's alright, though. Okay. Run over here. Heal her up. Heal her up. Heal her up. Chase her. Heal her up.
Blue team's turret has been
This is one where you
destroyed.
can follow Vayne and heal up. Because then you just, yeah, transition bottom with Vayne. Why is she healing so much? I don't know. Well, okay. Oh, water. You guys have a water drake or something? Yeah, you do. Okay. Yeah, keep pushing. Fight him, heal. Silence Q. There you go. Yeah, keep healing. Spam heal. Your heal's like a 1 second cooldown or something. Just keep spamming it on him. Especially because you have Warmogs. There you go. That's one thing. Just more heals.
Blue team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
More W. Just get in there. Just cast W a lot more. Like, when you run out of some of these really close fights, you should be running out with, like, under 10% health from all the heals you've been doing. Okay, yeah, y'all need to leave? This tower, and that's it. Okay, yeah, go. That's fine. You need to watch out for a Draven Axe, though. What? I guess they're all mad at each other or something. Oh gosh, it's so scary. It's, like, this is a very popular ward spot, and Draven could axe you through that. Alright, where are we going here? That's pretty good. You did use the Mikhail somewhere in there, but if we're being honest with yourself, I assume you would think that it's pretty hard to manage those 3 items. Like I said, because I personally, it seems like you forget at least 1 or 2 of them per fight. And it's hard for me to manage 3 items a lot of times as a support, so 3 activatables, that is. Okay, so what you need to do now is go up and ward this, pink that, and just like bush bait them here with like Cho'Gath, and just have Cho'Gath just chomp whoever comes up. I would bait him at Baron here. I wouldn't try to siege him. Because especially in Bronze, someone will walk through here and you will get hits on them. Yeah. Okay, well, they wasted a lot of stuff. Yes, kill Driven. Oh gosh. Yeah, good redemption. A little late, but you know what? You used it. You used it. It was a good spot. That's good. I mean, this is the thing that you need to be thinking when you're playing too, and you're working on these things. Is just use your cooldowns, you know? Just make sure Exhaust is on cooldown. Make sure Redemption, Ult's on cooldown. If everything's on cooldown, use Locket. Just make sure everything's on cooldown. Okay, you did get rid of Mikhail's for Ardent Sensor. That's probably a wise choice. It's just too many activatables. Mikhail's just kind of does its thing when you're fighting. Like, in general, I do think that... Or, Ardent Sensor, I mean, does its thing. In general, I do think that Mikhail's better, but you just got to be real, you know, about what you can manage and what you can't manage. If it's just too much to get that cleanse effect, use it optimally, then just go for the more hands-off approach. Like I said, even something like a Fiends could be decent. He's dead. Are you just... I don't know if you just spawned or you're... Let me see. Were you there or were you... Is he back? They won this thing.
Red team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
I think y'all can hold this with your exhaust on the Draven. I would walk up here. I mean, I legit think that y'all could hold this with the Cho'Gath. I guess maybe you're just feel like you're kind of done. I mean, maybe not, but I would at least run up and try to exhaust Draven and, you know, just do what you can at the end. But okay, you know, pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so the stuff that I would recommend the most. Okay, so try to be more aggro early on. Use autos and Q. So before Draven gets his Vamp Scepter, you need to try to harass him as much as possible and just make him pay for not having a heal in their lane. Q the wave more. Help with pushing. So your tower got really low because Vayne couldn't keep up with the Draven pushing. So just queuing that back line of minions, just queue it twice just to get it a little bit low and just to help prep it for Vayne to kill it. Will help out a lot. It'll save your tower a lot of damage. It'll help Vayne last hit. It's just a really good option. So you're sitting on full mana most of the time. Just utilize that. Just spam that Q over and over and over again. Like it's really hard to run out of mana as Soraka in lane. Now, remember that the Q not only gives you health back, but it also gives your allies extra health back. So if we look at someone like... look at someone like Soraka here, it gives you a lot of extra healing. So if you hit somebody with a Q, when you're spamming all those heals, it gives them an extra heal over time for quite a large amount. You know, so if you got your level 3 double or Q rather in the mid game, you know, 4 seconds of 9, that's 36 extra heal. Or no, that's per half second. That's 72 extra heal. That's a big deal. I mean, if you look at this heal, it's 9 per half second, and there's 8 half seconds, yeah. In 4 seconds, that's 72 extra heal. I mean, that's a lot. That's like a third extra healing. You know, this heal is, even at level 9, is 200. Having an extra 72 is, I mean, let me see. You know, it's 36% more healing that you're going to get in a team fight. So this is why you constantly just want to be spamming these Qs. It also slows people by a pretty healthy amount. I mean, it slows them by 30% for 2 seconds. And it helps you run away. It gives you 10% bonus movement speed. So just everybody wins when you're just constantly spamming Qs in team fights. So just in a team fight, just keep spamming that Q as much as you can, and it'll really boost your healing a lot, and it'll boost your mobility and slow down the enemy. So just... it's something that you definitely want to be doing as much as you possibly can. Like, it doesn't even have to be, like, queuing important targets like Draven or whatever. Just queue the tanks, you know? Just queue whoever's in front of you. Like, queue a Mumu, even though it's just going to tickle him. It's not going to matter. Like, you're not queuing to do damage. You're queuing for mobility and for extra healing. So just make sure that you're constantly landing the Qs on people in team fights as much as you can. Just for the extra healing, if for nothing else. Okay, so Q more in team fights. It boosts your healing and mobility a ton. Stay with the team. So both, like, be there in the team fight, so time your backs so that you can be ready and be at dragons and other, you know, key objectives of interest with your teams. There are a lot of times where you're kind of like running up really late to your team, so just try to like figure out where your team's going to go and rotate and be there a lot faster. And also don't split with people like Vayne. Be with the largest number of people, so be with the core team. Because Soraka's really best as a big team fighter. Like, she's not great at skirmishing. She's not great at splitting. She's very fragile. She doesn't do any damage. Like, she wants to just be sitting there, just have a strong front line, and just spam heals on people. So I think that just being with the team is probably your best bet there. Okay. Focus on using item actives a bit more, or I'll just say focus on optimal usage of item actives a bit more. There we go. Okay, so try to use Ardent Sensor. I mean, I think if you just go something like Redemption, Ardent Sensor, Locket, maybe Warbogs, that's good. You know, final item, Athene's and Holy Grail could be good. I just, you know, if you don't feel comfortable using that Mikhail, just don't worry about it. It's fine. It's more important that you're able to use items that you're comfortable with, because if you're not using the Mikhails like to its full potential, you know, if you're not really actually cleansing stuns and things, then it's not really going to be a worthwhile purchase. So you might consider getting something like a Athene's Unholy Grail a bit more. That'll still give you some more healing, and it'll give you a lot of CDR. Gives you a little bit of, still gives you the magic resist. It'll give you a little bit of extra healing if you're landing those Qs in fights. It'll give you more healing. So I think that that could be useful. So just limit yourself to 2 activatables and just find something else that you want to buy instead. I think would be a good thing. Leandri's Torment, if you want more damage, like that's a decent option because you already have a slow built into your Q. So that could be good. Just work on like your usage of Redemption and Locket. I see you use that a lot in team fights, but just try to use it a little bit more optimally, like Redemption earlier, put it in good places. Try to work on that cross map Redemption if you can. And just try to use Locket to prevent big bursts of damage, so like from a Moo Lux, that type of stuff. So just work on the items, and I think only having 2 activatables is probably a good option to feel like you're using the 2 that you have really well. Then you can maybe step it up a bit more and use the Mikhails. And finally, like I said, like I said, I don't really know what was going on in this game. It feels like you maybe were lagging, or you were like trying to talk with a roommate, or something else was going on. Because there were times where you're playing really far back, or just like were really delayed. Like that one back that I pointed out, I think you waited like 30 seconds in the fountain. Then you might have been waiting on an item. I don't know, but it felt like you were either lagging or distracted by something this game. So whenever you're gonna play rank, just try to just try to come in just with a clear head and just be really ready to focus up as much as possible if you're serious about trying to gain some rank. And if you feel like you might be distracted, or maybe you're lagging a little bit or something like that, just go play some normals. Maybe flex if you feel like you have to play something more competitive. But just try to reserve the solo queue only for when you can give it 100% attention and your internet's doing fine. Okay, so that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. I really appreciate the donation. And for anyone else that's interested out there, if you want a coaching session, or if you want a guide, or you want a duo during stream, just duo and normals, that is, during stream, just let me know. Just send me an email. We can set it up. And if you want to watch some other coaching videos, you can check this out. The coaching playlist, we have a lot of videos, anything from bronze to gold. I don't think I've coached a platinum yet. Anything from bronze to gold, with a whole bunch of different supports, even some non-supports. I think there's a Talon game in there as well, so some interesting stuff to check out. And a Twitch game. So there's a couple of non-support games in there. But anyways, thank you very much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.